So a few years ago, we made a big decision, and that was originally all of our buildings, well, not all of them, but the house, the wood shop, and the shed we were just looking at, were all stained pine. And it was considered a solid stain, and you can see some of it right there yet after maybe 30 years, I hate to say, since probably about 1990, right around that time we were putting siding on the house. And it took a few years to get it all on. And we stained all the boards, put them on. It was a big job. And it was a solid stain. I initially wanted like a more transparent one, but to get that color, solid stain was really the only option. And it worked out fine. But a few years ago, we decided we're painting the house, and it's probably our, having to work with Zehr and everything. We wanted to use the same coloring. We had talked about it. We had come to an agreement, and I started adding design and everything, and we ended up painting. So, very happy with that. It's really going really well. After 3 years, I'm still working on the house, maybe 4 years actually. I'm not even sure. So I still have more to do here. I have moldings to go on here. The front is awesome, love it. Everything's looking much better. I'm putting in supports. It's just looking more solid. It's got more character. We'll be doing stuff with the roof there. But then it begs the question, okay, so what do you do with this trellis, for example? I'm going to paint that too. And I didn't really feel comfortable with that. And so what do? Do you just leave it? I mean, it's going to last a long time. You can see the wood, natural. It's going to last a long, long time. So then the next question is, and probably even a bigger question is, what am I going to do with this gazebo? Because I put a tremendous amount of work into this. This is before I started doing videos. This was by far the biggest project I took on since building the house. And woodworking intensity was even more than the house, because these are all pieces glued together, all different types of hardwood. This was a year and a half, I think, of planning and cutting and drilling and screwing, and I had this whole thing, imagine this whole thing piled up in the house as like a kit designed, and I was quite confident it was all going to go together, and it did. I mean, there was some things that were a little tougher than I thought, but it did go together. Within a few days, this thing was up. Took me, a few more days to get the whole roof structure, all the boards on it and everything there. So, but I think it was within 2 weeks this was all up and covered and everything. And I tried to pick a time where there wasn't any rain, and before that, so before all the woodworking, there was a couple, 2-3 years of doing this stone patio, just preparing for the gazebo. So this was a major project. It's not something I want to sit here and watch rot away or anything. Yes, Zehr Estate is mammoth, and it overrules this now, but this was a big deal for me at the time. And I don't want to just let it go. So do you paint it? So there was some bug activity. There was a couple years I noticed bug activity. I purchased some pretty lethal stuff that you could purchase at the time and sprayed the bottom parts, and I don't think they like that. So, but there still could be bug activity. I don't know if there is or not. So what do? Painting I didn't feel comfortable with because it's just the outside. If there's bugs in there, they're going to be just as happy. I mean, I think they're going to be just as happy. So, and you can see these are all different types of wood. So some are going to be more vulnerable than others. Now the insides, initially it all looked natural wood. just like the inside still does. And it was awesome. But I knew from past experience it would not stay like that. And you can see remnants of it right here. But when the sun hits it, I don't care what kind of wood you got, it's going to turn black, at least from my experience. So for a couple years now, I've been trying to decide what am I going to do. And within the last couple of weeks, I made a decision. And it might be a crazy one, but I've been testing this morning. This is from birds, you know, and you're going to get that. The birds love it just as much as we do. So what I decided was I didn't really want to put a bunch of money into buying stains and everything. So I've decided I'm coating it with used motor oil. Wood and oil go good together. Old motor oil is pretty dark, so it's going to darken things up, which is fine with me now. I mean, it already is dark, and I've started coating it. And I don't know, how is this going to look in a year? Is it going to take 2 coats? But the thing is, there's no costs, no extra costs. I had the motor oil because I'm changing my own oil now in the vehicles. I'm not wasting it. It's not going really on the ground. You know, I'm just touching the brush to it and putting it on, so you know you're not dripping it all over. And I'm picking a day where it's warm out. The leaves are still coming out, so it's still getting quite a bit of sun, and it should bake it in pretty good in the next day or two. After that, we'll probably get some rain, but hopefully it's baked in pretty good, so the rain isn't going to have much effect on it at that point in time. So it's a big decision, and at the same time I said, you know what, how about the same thing for my chainsaw carved bear, which my brother says is more like a penguin, but it's my only carving I've ever done with a chainsaw. But it's pretty cool. And I got it up on stone now. I had it close to the ground. That was not a good idea because the bugs like that. So while I'm working on that, I'll put a little on here and get this all coated, maybe tip them over, coat the bottom good, and maybe preserve my chainsaw carving. And I've decided the same thing with the trellis. I'll just gradually coat that. Now it's going to take some time because there is a lot of area up in here, and you got to brush. You know, I picked up a little brush here, brought one down to kind of get the cobwebs down and everything. So it's going to take some time, but this is kind of a low priority. I'd like to get the lower part done first. Sooner the better on that, because that's where the rain hits. So, and we got some nice weather right now. We just got through some rain. It's been drying for a good day or so. So it's a good time to do it. Let's step back a little bit. So this area I did not do. I did not do that area, but I did do this area over here. And I did this one panel here. Right there, I did that. I'm halfway down on that one. And just to show you, you know, the time invested in this. So this is all stone here from old sidewalks. I was fortunate at the time. I was given access to basically sidewalks that were being torn out, and they were being torn out at a very fast rate at that time period. And they were just going to bury everything, and they buried so much. I mean, they buried mammoth amount of this material. But I was able to grab, I had permission to load a bunch, and I hauled a bunch. And you can see, I mean, this is this is all stone. This is, well, this is almost, yeah, this is close to 4 feet high. It's a good 43 inches high here. Well, it'd be 44 feet there, 48 inches there. Even here it's over 40. And that's all stone going back into the hill. So this is, I couldn't even tell you how many loads of stone. And the closest I could get was to drive in here, back up. So right there, I had to carry it all from right there over here and stack it. So it was a lot of work, but it stayed. You know, it's stayed. It's been really good, and it's a really cool gazebo on top of it. So preserving it, taking care of it is high priority for me, but in the big picture I have lots of other things I'm working on, so it doesn't get the highest TLC, but it's getting some this year, happy to say. Okay, I'm going to brush some more down, coat some more, and we'll take a look at the inside in another video, so stay tuned. Because right now I want to get the outside preserved, but then after we get through the house area, you know, we got all this to do, all that to do, moldings, trim, a lot of work up there. Then we're going to do some major cleaning in here. And the biggest mistake I made with it was not realizing you have to keep the mice out. You can't have any single spot where they can squeeze through. Because, yeah, they want to live in there big time. And I think I got them out, but, you know, we got to re-examine that whole thing, clean everything up, but let's get the outside preserved and in nice shape.